hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock God Rick Maxa, and Cory Sanden.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, do we have a great show for you today. One of my favorite times, because we get to talk about one of my favorite places on earth, and that's Cedros Island, and we got the best. Cedros Sportfishing, Rosie and Jeff are going to be joining us this morning, talking all kinds of fishing, all kinds of fun. You stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And at your San Diego County Ford dealers, you can find yours with the Ford F-150.
How old are you?
I'm
42.
Okay. And I started when I was 13.
Yeah,
I know, crazy. I mean, that's when I started answering the phones on a semi-part-time basis kind of thing. But yeah, I know, Rosie, it's just, it trips me out.
I just look at like the last.
November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Now.
And it's our largest
But it's
sale
like
ever.
just
Plenty of
watching
seminars by saltwater experts and
just
over
the
20 reps
transition
from
of
tackle manufacturers
you.
like
Yeah, it's been
Cigar,
family.
It's been totally, right? Yeah, I mean, I've known you guys my whole,
Yeah.
longer than not,
Seminars, the
Yeah, it's been
huge
really fun.
raffles
It's been a really
to
good
benefit
ride.
all
Yeah.
of
Really,
the
really
popular casting contest, and of
So,
course, the huge sale. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out
really
Tackle Day at
Ish.
Fisherman's
I mean,
Landing, Saturday,
me-related.
November 2nd.
Stumble
Trip.
down, hand down, but Wyatt was like on a jungle gym type thing, and I was like underneath him, kind of spotting him in case he fell. I was walking and looking up instead of looking at my feet, and I just tripped over some little kid's thing. Like stutter step down on my knee, put my hand down, but I must have gone thumb first, and like I broke the thumb like right at the joint.
And top of the line resort amenities. Van Warmer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWarmerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Warmer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and you're certainly right, Rick. This is one of those shows you look forward to and talking nothing but good times at a beautiful island.
More than just about anything else. We got a little technical issue going on. First, obviously, it's Cory and I, and always have a lot of fun having Cory when Pete is away, and away he is, man, at our Palmas de Cortez annual tournament. Unbelievable. So many awesome years of fun and fishing.
30?
Yeah, I mean, Pete will give us the exact, because it's so many that I don't know. Yeah, I know we're in our it's in the high 20s or low 30s that this has gone on every year. Another great turnout. I was talking with Pete last night as we were kind of sharing our woes on the game a little bit last night. Pete was with Chris at Smokies, my favorite place, having my favorite thing, a shrimp taco and a Cold Pacifico at Smokies, but they were drowning their sorrows a little bit with the game, which was a bummer, but a great ride for the boys. But yeah, he said there's, 15 boats, 40 people. It's just a great turnout, a great tournament, and they're having a great time. And yeah, we're going to have a great time today. Again, like you said, Cory, talking Cedros Sportfishing. I will warn, we got a little technical issue going on with Pete not here. The live feed camera having some issues. So we'll get that resolved hopefully soon. The audio is certainly working for our Facebook Live audience, and same with our YouTube Live. But the picture, unfortunately, not. And I'm not doing it on purpose just because I got the big cast on. I'm fussing my way through it. But we're going to have a great time talking with some of our best friends, Cory, and that's Rosie and Jeff. Guys, thanks so much for coming.
Always appreciate being here, man. This is awesome.
Well, this is, Cory and I always joke, this is about as easy of a show for Cory and I to do. Because, I mean, how many accolades can you give Cedros Sportfishing? It's such an awesome operation and an amazing place to fish, and it really starts with you, Rosie. But it does, and you deserve those accolades. But you have the best crew, the best lodge, the best fishing, the best people. I mean, it's it, man. You guys hit a home run, and we love it. We're so stoked to have you.
Yeah, well, thank you, and we really do have the best of everything. I mean, I just see. I've been doing this now for almost 9 years, if you can believe that. And just seeing where we started and where we've come to, and we still are working on things.
Has it been 9 years already? You've been.
This will be my 9th year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Incredible.
and it has been crazy, but it's like I said, seeing how we started, and I still remember the very first person I signed up. The very first person.
Really?
And every time I talk to him, I say, "Hey,
cool.
Pete, you're my first," and we giggle about it. But just seeing the transition of how we get you down there.
Totally.
And dialing that all in and making sure we have the concierge service now. I mean, I have customers that are actually friends with Hugo and Michelle down in the Tijuana airport that sometimes when they go down there, they'll hook up, they'll meet up or whatever. Or I have people up here that maybe work certain places and have, they can get tickets to SeaWorld or Disneyland, and they pass them on to Michelle and Hugo because
so
they're
rad.
friends and buddies,
Yeah.
and it's just like, gosh, it's
They're
just
family.
They're
even more
family.
so. Yeah, it becomes a family.
Absolutely.
I remember, again, we have been so fortunate, all the way back to the test trip with Tom and
Yes.
Adrian before they decided to even make it a go. Like, hey, what do you guys think? Is this something that's viable? And it was fantastic then.
Yeah.
And then it got the Rosie touch. And
There
like
you go.
you did such a great job of taking every little thing that, it was always one of those things. The trip is amazing, but this was such an awesome experience. If only it could be. And then you fixed all the buts and could be.
Yeah.
And it's so streamlined. And we still, you still hear about it from first timers, people that get nervous about, there's still, that number is decreasing so much now because it's such a normal thing, but there's still that, and that little apprehension about the Tijuana airport. And then somebody goes on a Cedros Sportfishing trip that Rosie starts, and it's just, there is no fear. It's almost hard to describe how easy you make it to go to this island.
Yeah. And you know what? I think for me personally, when I was going down there the very first time, I had that apprehension.
Sure.
And it was like,
who wouldn't?
Yeah. You're trying to navigate in an international airport, and you have to do the customs and immigration thing, just like any other international airport in the world. And it's like, how am I going to navigate this? Maybe you don't speak the language, trying to find your way. Well, I figure, that was my biggest fear and anxiety. Let's get rid of it. Let's just get rid of it. And that's why I tell everyone, and how many times have we said it? I hold your hand on this side of the border, and I've got a concierge service that holds your hand on the other side of the border. You're basically going 390 feet by yourself, in a tunnel and in the skywalk, and you can't get lost. There's one way to go. It is up and it is south. And I tell people this all the time, and I got pictures I got to show you, but it's like, Hugo and Michelle will say, I got him before you even know you were got.
Exactly.
Because we can see the fishing rods coming, and they're like, okay, here they are.
She sees you down the hall.
Yeah.
And Cory, you can attest to it. You've done it, done it just the same. It's just, you literally have somebody that's navigating for you. And it's not like it needs navigation. Even saying that makes it sound worse than it is. It's just, it's such an easy process. But again, it's the Rosie touch. And you knock out all those apprehensions well beforehand, because as you sign up for a trip, you're getting all the little things that you do. Paperwork is covered. Visas are taken care of to the best of the ability they can be.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Yeah.
What to expect, how to tip, where your clothes, just everything, every little thing about it. You guys do a fantastic job.
It's all in those emails. Just read the emails, and it's all there, in the order that you need to do them in. And even like the packets I put together, every piece of paper is in the order in which you're going to need it. It's all there from the entrance visa to the last boarding pass coming back, which I always say you don't really need the last boarding pass coming back, because you're the only people on a privately chartered aircraft on Wednesday from a little tiny island. But I had one person this year that when they landed in the Tijuana airport and were coming through the CBX, one person out of almost 700 so far was asked, can I see your airline boarding pass? So, but it was there.
Yeah,
they had it.
You had it.
So there you go.
That's cool.
How crazy.
People always say, that the most sincere form of flattery is the copying of what you do. And it's no, you guys have been so successful. There's other people trying to emulate what it does, but the difference is the team that you have and the people that you have and the accommodations you have. I mean, there's no denying that there's other people trying to do the same things, but it's just not it's not the same. It's not close.
And it isn't close. They think it's close. And they see that, you know what, we might be $60 more than the other guy, but you know what, I'm including your cross-border express passes, which are, if you had to buy them yourself, they're $45.
Right.
I'm doing your Mexican fishing license, which, if you have to do that yourself, are you going to go to the landing? Are you going to do it online?
Exactly. Paying a service charge for that somewhere else, which you're not charging.
Which we're not charging. You're going to get your fish not only, processed properly, but vacuum sealed in a commercial grade vacuum sealer. That's included. Right.
Rosie,
I know, right?
Listen, that to me, going to a beautiful destination, beautiful people, a beautiful operation, but the harvest, I mean, for me, I've come to in a part of my life where the harvest is like the golden nugget at the end of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And the stuff that comes home from your operation, it's
perfect
for over a year.
Yeah.
Like it's in 100%. They trim it so far down. So the weight you're bringing home is 100% usable.
Absolutely.
You don't have to trim the dark meat. You don't have to trim
red
the
line.
bitter end of the tail.
Yep.
You don't. It's 100% ready to go.
I remember when I first went down there, and I was watching the fish processing process, and I just about keeled over and died.
Right.
And I was watching. It's like they were peeling the skin.
Right.
Peeling the skin, and it's like, and I I don't speak the best Spanish, none. And I said to the translator, I said, you ask the fillet guy, I said, does he eat it like that? And he was like, no. I said, well, then no one else is going to eat it like that. I said, so here I am. I brought my knives. I started, cutting the skin off,
and everybody knows you came from great lineage.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, Fisherman's Processing. We did everything right, and that's what I took that down there.
Right.
So and you know what? The fish is good. The fish is as good. It's perfect.
It's the best.
It is perfect.
Yeah, it's the best.
So I have guys coming back from the trip that say that I have the best processing there is anywhere.
So
anywhere.
I have to tell you, I've heard from a couple people, not that I know, not my friends, but just in the circle, right?
Right.
That have tried other operations, and they were $100 less or whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, the food was an issue. And when I eat my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right, it gets no better. When you come in with your operation, the yellowtail sashimi.
Oh my gosh,
is my absolute favorite.
That is a big hit when that comes out and hits the table. It's the guys come out of the rooms, they're drying their hair off with a towel wrapped around themselves.
Seagulls on French fries.
You're like, I'm not missing this.
and it's not like there's a limited amount.
It keeps coming.
Harry was in the taking a shower. He comes out. Well, there's a whole nother plate.
That's
coming.
right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You had brought up a comment about other people, giving us the flattery. Of copying or trying to emulate. And Rosie hit it on the head is, we might be $60 more expensive, but I can't tell you how many times I've been in the airport and somebody else using another competitor on the island is lost in the airport, missed their flight.
No idea.
Doesn't have any idea where they're going. So, if that scares you, you definitely need to be talking to Rosie. Otherwise, you will be one of those people who are going to get stuck in an airport in a foreign country with no help.
Well, and remember last year, not 2024, but 2023, it was your trip. And, all the guys down at the CBX, all the workers down there, they know me, they know what I do. And they saw some guy standing there with a fishing pole in his hand. And the one gentleman said, "Oh, are you looking for Rosie for Cedros?" He's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, well, she's out here." And he wasn't on our trip, but he was on someone else's down there and didn't get the proper guidance. So he's standing there. He had already missed the flight.
Man,
and so I talked to him a little bit, and me.
You're Rosie.
I'm Rosie.
Pull the rabbit out of the hat.
And so I said, you know what? I said, just give me a second. I said, I'll get you on our flight. And he was going down to another lodge, but I got him there.
I'm
it's like,
not surprised
because it's about him. It's not about the other lodge. It was about that man.
He was a great guy. We sat at the little restaurant back in the corner in the airport where we wait.
Yeah.
And eating our shrimp tacos and margaritas, and I made a new fishing friend.
That's cool.
And when we were fishing, we would see him out there periodically in the morning, and he would just kind of point at me and say, "Next year, fishing with you guys."
That's right.
Oh, good job, Jeff. Well, for those that haven't had an opportunity to experience Cedros Sportfishing, give us a little bit of rundown of what the lodge is like and what a day is like when you're there, and just kind of take us through the experience for those that haven't been lucky enough to get to go on a Cedros Sportfishing adventure.
The lodges are cozy, very family oriented. The rooms are always nice and clean and comfortable. The morning is going to start early. Our guys will get up earlier than you think they're even there, getting the coffee ready. The girls will get you all breakfast going, get your lunches all packed. And while you're eating your breakfast, little do you know that the dock crew is already loading up your tackle and your lunches and your coolers, getting it down to the pongas, so that you don't have to touch anything.
But Rosie, that's such a cool part of it. Like you have your own milk crate, with the rods, and you put
rocket
all your
launcher,
gear in there.
yes.
So it all comes back, and your color, and
that's right.
It's like color coded, and so you can take stuff out and put it back in. Like maybe I need a couple more surface iron, and you can load it all up, and your crew's
and
handled.
I think for us, one of the biggest things that I have heard a difference is, we take you down to the harbor in an air-conditioned van. You are sitting down in a van. The other places got you standing in the back of a truck holding onto a bar.
And I mean, that long run from the lodge all the way down to the harbor.
It might take 3 minutes.
I don't think it's that long, but a minute and a half, maybe. Like it's so awesome. The position at the lodge is right on top of the cliff, and amazing views. And on the right day, you come back, you can see bird schools and boiling yellowtail from the lodge where you're eating your dinner. It's just
dolphin playing.
So rad.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely crazy. I remember my very first time there, sitting in the dining room and looking out and literally watching a pod of dolphins go by, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And
cool.
and then realizing that that's the norm.
Yeah.
That's not just, it's not unusual. You can it's just beautiful, and I love it when customers say when they come back up from fishing that day, that everything is done for them. When they get off the pongas, they're not hauling their tackle. They're not taking their coolers. Everything is done for you. It's your vacation. You're supposed to fish, relax, have the camaraderie with your buddies, and let us worry about the rest. And that's exactly what our crew does. And you come back and you get that great sashimi or that ceviche and just chill out.
And it's such a unique experience. I mean, a lot of us learned about Cedros, probably all of us in this room from, our times fishing there on the long range trips and having a great time doing that. This is such a cool blend of two different things. There's people who it's just, I want to be on land, on a bed at night with my air conditioner going the way I want, in my room with my bud, with my bathroom. And you get to do all that. And you still get to this amazing fishing. And you really get to do what you and your buds on your boat want to do. Jeff might be the most hardcore yellowtail dude in the world. And if he catches a few bass, afterward, great, whatever. If so, not. I might want to just, fish calico bass until I can't see straight. Cory might want to do drifts for halibut and catch white sea bass, and that's what you want to focus on. And no matter what, you're going to get a taste of every little bit of thing that's there. But if you've got something that you're after, and you tell Javier, hey man, I really want to focus on yellowtail this trip, and I don't care if we catch a limit and then release a bunch. He'll do that to you until your arms fall off. And then when you wave the white flag, then you go fish calico bass.
And trust me, that happened a lot this year. It was crazy this year.
It was nuts.
Still
is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But the one thing that I do is, like, when a customer calls in, until I get to know you, I do ask a lot of questions because I'm trying to match your fishing style with what captain am I putting you with that'll match their fishing style.
That's so rad.
So it's like, I've got Reggie. Reggie is, I want, heavy yellowtail fishing on surface iron, and I'm going to go crazy all day with the yellowtail. Well, he is going with Javier. have someone that wants to do the calico bass, the halibut,
Yes, please.
Yeah. And it's like, you're going to go with Martine, and it's like, once you understand your customers and what they want to do, it's easy to place you with the right panga captain.
That's why you do what you do. Well, as you can hear, we've got 2 hours of talking about one of the greatest fishing spots in the whole world, and it's going to be a lot of fun, Cory.
A lot of fun, Rick, and I can't wait to get into the fishing and current conditions and how the kelp growth is going for that calico fishing and all that great yellowtail fishing. If you want to join us, you can certainly do so. You can do it on the telephone line at 213-432-1090. That's our only telephone number here at Let's Talk Hookup. And if you want to send us a text, it's only done through the app, and you can hit the button right there. It says text the show. You can send us a text. You want to make sure you leave your name and your telephone number, because at the end of the show, we're going to give away a $300 gift certificate to Costa Del Mar.
How cool is that, man?
Dude, it's so cool what we give away on this show, Rick. I mean, just all the cool trips and the $300 to Costa Del Mar, man.
We yesterday had a listener, Tom from University City. He was lucky enough to win that prize a couple of weeks ago, and he was in the store yesterday, like trying on every different pair of shades of Costa just to figure out. Obviously you basically get a code, you go on the website, you fill out, and they mail it right to your doorstep. But he came in to kind of test fit everything and make sure he found the right combo. And and we welcome that too, man. It's just awesome that somebody's going to basically get, virtually any pair of glasses on the Costa website. Most commonly, you're going to have money left over. Cory, as you said, you can spend on all kinds of other goodies there.
Oh, they have cool sun shirts and cool bags and just cooler bags and just all kinds of cool stuff. So if you're interested, give us a shout, 213-432-1090, or send us a text via the app. Again, make sure you leave your name and telephone number so we can get back to you. And we're going to be right back. And let's talk Hookup more from Rosie and Jeff and Cedros Sportfishing when we return on Let's Talk Hookup app and a Sports Grid radio network.
Anyone that's been to the Eastcape knows Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best food and drink in Los Barillas, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top-notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner, Chris, and my buddies when fishing in the Eastcape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's, too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the Eastcape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, Vaquera, booked at BajaSmokies.com, should be your choice. So when you're headed to the Eastcape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details. Been thinking of purchasing a new outboard? Don't delay and purchase a brand new Yamaha outboard and a great deal during Yamaha's Wide Wait for Spring sales event. From now until December 6, 2024, eligible new 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboards come with up to $500 in dealer credit. New Yamaha 450 to 425 horsepower outboards include 7 years of coverage protection, and new 350 to 30 horsepower outboards come with 6 years of coverage protection. No need to delay during Yamaha's Wide Wait for Spring sales event. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offers December 6, 2024, subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Sport models excluded. New 2.5 to 25 horsepower four-stroke outboard is dealer credit up to $500 based on horsepower towards MSRP value of goods and/or services purchased at the authorized participating dealer that sold the outboard at no extra cost to the consumer. New 425 to 450 horsepower is a 24-month Yamaha extended added 60-month factory limited warranty. New 30 to 350 horsepower is a 36-month Yamaha extended service added to 36-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered by Florida dealers is a Yamaha extended limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealer for detail. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer. In Florida, Yamaha extended service is administered by Automotive Warranty Service of Florida, Inc. 175 West Jackson Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois 60604. 866-937-3983. License number 60023.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern. We are pulling out all the stops on this one. Over 20 manufacturers reps like Shimano and Power Pro. Check out all the Shimano and Power Pro product we have, like the all-new Talica A Series reel. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and a Shimano Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skill. you'll see Shimano Terramar is the perfect rod to handle tough fish. The secret is TC4 blank construction. Match your Shimano Terramar rod with the Shimano Tranx 500 reel. Shimano's X-Ship and HEG technologies in the Shimano Tranx combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth and effortless retrieve. It's our biggest sale of the year, Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 2nd.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
Here we go.
All right. Let's talk hookup and having such a great time in studio. And again, if you want to join us, 213-432-1090, or you can text us via the app. We're giving away a $300 gift card to Costa Del Mar. And Rick, poor Rick, man, trying to get the YouTube and Facebook live going. So if you're joining us and you're not seeing any video on there, you're getting only the audio. It's just trying to figure out the video end of it.
Yeah. All good. What are we going to do? You know what? We're going to have a great time talking about our most favorite spot. The phone lines are packed. No surprise there. Having Jeff and Rosie in the studio today. Ton of great tech standing by. And boy, just like Cory said at the beginning of the show, if you want to get your chance to get through, it's going to be a busy morning. 213-432-1090 is the way to do it. And again, like you were saying, you might win yourself a brand new pair of Costas. Get a Spiro XL. That's my favorite. Yeah, I love them. Well, let's do it, man. Let's jump into the phones. Everybody's excited to talk to Rosie. Let's get it started, Cory.
How about Sean? Sean calling from Chula Vista. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. How are you?
What's up, Sean?
Hello.
Go ahead,
Can
buddy.
you hear us, Sean?
Hello?
Sean?
Well, looks like we'll see if Chris can get the... There you go. Go ahead, buddy. It looks like...
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. What's your question, Sean?
Hello?
Oh.
Go ahead, Sean.
Hey.
All right. Well, while we're trying to get Sean figured out there, why don't we jump in? We got a bunch of great text standing by. And first one we're going to grab is from Chris. And it says, good morning, guys. Calico bass fishing at Cedros Island is my absolute dream. My goal is to see a double-digit fish. If there was one way to try to target something that big, Cory, what are your recommendations? And Rosie, what is the best time of year to try to make that happen?
Wow. Well, bait wise, man, I mean, if you're going to go with a live bait, a mackerel for sure, that kind of thing, right? I mean, bigger the better.
Sure.
And artificials, dude, the 7-inch weedless, like through the thick of the stuff. I mean, whether it's in 2 feet of water up against the rocks and the beach and the kelp, or through the kelp itself. I mean, that's bigger the better. You can go 9-inch too.
Totally.
Oh, I'm going to jump in here real quick.
Please. Yeah.
Man, the hair on my arms is standing up. I'll be straight with you that the big banana colored slug.
Oh, the slug.
Yes.
And you gave me a tip to go find the thickest carpet you can find.
Yeah.
And huck that thing out there. Don't worry about it. It's not going to get stuck, and just pop it across the surface. And I'll tell you what, I won't fish bass any other way.
Yeah.
Great tip, great bait. And for whatever reason down there, yellow seems to just fire them up.
It does. I don't know even yellows.
Yeah.
I mean,
We've had yellows crash those things and just completely tear us apart in the kelp. And so, yeah, if from my point of view, that big giant yellow slug, put that trocar hook in there, make it weedless, 80-pound, leader, about 3 feet, and you got your little kelp cutter rig and go to town.
I love it. I love it, dude. I love it.
And what about the time of the year? What time of the year do you think?
You know what? When we first open and get down there, that first early spawn is good. There's a lot of fish running around. There's been really no pressure.
Yeah.
But we still seem to catch some very large bass all year long.
You know what? This year has been exceptional, but you are right. We always catch good sized bass.
They live there.
Yeah.
That's where they live.
And they don't go anywhere because there's bait. and there's stuff to eat. So there's nice kelp and they don't go anywhere.
I always thought that Cedros in particular is like a 3 to 5 pound bass factory. It
Absolutely.
just you don't seem to catch a lot smaller than that, but you also don't necessarily seem to see many fish over that big hump of 7 or 8 pounds. Now again, that fish is a unicorn to get there, and it absolutely is there. My question for Rosie is, if you're in Jeff's texter Jeff's mind, you think that big fish is coming from one of his days when he's fishing at the north end or here at the island, or was it on one of those glassy days where he drove over to Bonitas or Chester's or Natividad? Like, do those spots tend to see lesser quantity but bigger fish? Are they a numbers thing? Like, because Cedros is the most incredible island to fish in the world, but you also do little adventures to other spots too, we
do. And I'll tell you what, Bonitos, that's just a unicorn. That's a Jurassic Park in its own, and it doesn't get fished a lot. And so those guys are just growing up over there with nothing else to do but eat and get fat and hopefully get on our hook. The guys that went to Bonitos this year said it was unbelievable. Okay. And the average fish for them was the 5 to 7 with the occasional, we did have a 10 pounder, over 10 pounder this year.
Amazing.
So, and
that truly is like, I fished Sac Reef, Chester's, like the whole zone, Calico Triangle, I guess you'd call it. And Bonitos 100% is like,
it's unbelievable.
You see me lighten up.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are more 5 to 6 pounders there than I've seen anywhere.
Yeah, and then a lot of guys that were going up to Punta Norte and going into those little boiler rocks and stuff like that. Their challenge, and tough challenge to have. They're there trying to fish in 15 feet of water, maybe even less for the calicos and all of that stuff up there. And then all of a sudden they're hooked up to a 52-pound yellowtail.
Hello.
So we lost 5 rod and reel setups overboard this year for people that were fishing calico bass that came out with, all of a sudden they could see the yellowtail literally taking off with it and just pulled it right out of their hands. We got 2 of them back because it gets caught down there. It's, they literally dove in and got their rod and reel setup back.
Unreal.
But
I know how that feels.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Jeff. But yeah, those 10 pounders are there. And we've got a few people that's their goal, is to get those 10 pounders. And they do go to Chester's and they do hit up, the other side, San Augustine, when the weather permitting. And this year has actually been really good for weather. We didn't have a lot of wind this year. We've had a few trips that have had some wind. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, the whole entire island.
Yeah.
The whole island, both sides, has been so accessible this year. It's been crazy.
My last 2 trips I both had. I'm going to go to Bonitos. I've been, on the operation with the boats. I've been over to Bonitos before. My last 2 trips, I swore I was going to go. But our bass fishing was so good that why exactly?
Why?
Yes, it's super cool and it's fun to see, but why spend the extra hour that it takes to drive over there? That's another hour that we
and the hour driving back.
That's what
Don't
I'm saying.
Forget about that. So
And
now you're 2 hours down on fishing when you could be catching them.
And it was too good. I mean, we were saying the same thing, like on the plane ride down, we're gonna go on Wednesday. That looks like the best weather day. And then Monday and Tuesday, you have some of the best fishing of that you've ever had in your life. Like, why would the old rule? Don't leave it to find it. And
exactly. That's right.
It's cool. But anyways, Jeff, I hope you have an awesome trip when you go down, and I hope that double digit finds.
There you go.
It's a pretty special spot. Well, with that said, we're gonna find out what's going on in the East Cape. We got our man Chris from Smokies is on the line right now, and we're really looking forward to hearing what's going on. The big Palmas de Cortez tournament going on, and Chris, we're certainly stoked to have you calling us from Smokies Curing Company and Cantina. Good morning, Chris.
Rick, Cory, buenos dias. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Jeff.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, my God, guys. I don't know if you heard, but we had a hurricane roar through the East
Coast
last night. Hurricane Pedro.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Hurricane Pedro roared through. So we sent you some pics. Rick, we sent you some pics. We sent some pics of your love language, some Pacificos and shrimp tacos. We had some Ichiban of ahi last night. Oh. We were doing taste testing of some different tequilas. It was a great night. Pedro actually said it was the best shrimp taco he's ever had.
Nice.
I don't know if he was blowing smoke, but it might have been the tequila talking. But anyway, we had a great time last night. And before I get started, I wanted to just mention to Rosie and Jeff, one of my best friends that lives down here, Chris Barrick, he just went on the Cedros trip recently, and he really wanted me to go with him. But anyway, and Pedro says the same thing, but just top-notch operation, just the best time ever. And I'm definitely going to make that trip next time for sure.
Right
I
on.
hear nothing but good things, and I'm looking forward to doing that.
Well, it won't disappoint. I'll tell you that. You'll have a great time.
I know that. I'm going with eyes wide open on that. So anyway, to the fishing here in the East Cape, we had another great week of Dorado fishing. The only downside is that we've got a lot of small ones that we're throwing back, but still, we're still seeing some 20s, 30s, 40s, and even some 50s mixed in there. But they're close in, guys. You don't have to go far. Right off Punta Pescadero, right up to the north, right off Los Barriles. Then to the south from Leonero, La Ribera, Punta Colorado, to the lighthouse at Punta Reina. Lots of Dorados. So, you just, pick and choose and throw the small ones back. Catch them on sardinas, hoochies, ballyhoo. So anyway, and then the tuna bite fell off just a bit. We had 2 really good days, Tuesday and Thursday. Some nice tuna come in, but other than that, it kind of fell off a little bit. But man, so many blue marlin and sailfish and striped marlin. I mean, anglers are just having so much fun catching those, and they're like ants out there. Seriously, you can't help but catch them. Then we had we probably had a couple dozen wahoo come in off El Limon, which El Limon is to the south. For people that don't know, it's sort of between Frailes and say Gordo Banks. But I was talking to the guys last night, and Pedro's compa Mark, he really loves wahoo. So we think, we're gonna head out on the Vaquera on Monday, and we're just gonna have some cold pops with the boys and get out on the boat and go target some wahoo. And there's plenty of Dorado out there and marlin, just in case. But we're gonna target wahoo to start with and see where we end up. But anyway, looking forward to that. And it's a beautiful day here. I'm sitting here having coffee on my patio at Rancho Leonero. The water temps this week are about 84 to 87. It's beautiful, man. So anyway, looking forward to getting out there and doing some fishing with Pedro and the boys.
What a great report, Chris. That's so cool. And hey, I can confirm. He told me the same thing. It is, and we were kind of hanging our woes while the game was going last night and enjoying a great time. And Pete was sending me pictures of exactly that shrimp taco on a Cold Pacifico. He said, "You're right, man." He goes, "It's the best there is," and just the atmosphere that you make at Smokies and being down in the Cape and having the great time, buddy. What a great report. You're painting a great picture, and I'm really stoked that you're going to get to go fishing with Pete and the gang and go have a good time on what is also the most beautiful boat in the East Cape in the Vaquera. And buddy, if somebody wants to join you, go fishing on that great rig. Enjoy everything that you guys do, the fish processing, the food, and everything else. How do we find you, Chris?
You know what? You can get a hold of me at Baja Smoke Dog with 2 G's at Gmail, or you can go to VaqueraSportfishing.com, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. Matter of fact, Pedro and the boys were on a quad ride yesterday out to Punta Pescadero, and they ran into some people, and they were calling me at 6 a.m. trying to get a date to go to the Vaquera. And I'm like, I think we're booked for like the next 10 days straight. But anyway,
that's awesome.
Looking forward to it, guys. Guys, great show. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week.
Great report, Chris. Appreciate that as always. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks a lot for that. All right, Cory, let's try those phones again.
How about Dave? Let's try Dave and Anza.
What's up, Dave? What's up, Dave?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Rosie, Jeff. Say, I've been down there with you before, and I got to tell everybody out there, it's more than a fishing trip. It's a Baja adventure. And what I particularly like is that plane ride down there.
Yeah.
I'm a pilot. I've flown both sides of the Baja Peninsula. And on that plane ride, when we're just looking at that rugged shoreline going down and that island pops up, it just adds the excitement of it. So my question for you, Rosie, is everything seems to be running so smooth down there. You're always so well supplied. The food is so good and all. The logistics of it, you're on that remote island off Mexico. What do you have to go through to keep yourself up and running like you do?
It's crazy, the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see, and the logistics of all of that, as far as even just getting food down there, or even the prep before the season. You guys in your coolers, you have, Gatorades and waters and sodas. Well, it somehow has to get to the island. And, it's got to go by the barge. It can't go by the airplane.
Right.
So basically, we have a runner that goes into Ensenada. We have actually probably a group of 3 that does all of our shopping, whether it be at Costco in Ensenada. We have a specialty ranch where we buy all those steaks on the last night that they're
so
grass fed.
Oh my God.
It's grass fed beef.
So good.
Yeah. And so, but getting that all to the island is a challenge. We literally have someone that has a box truck, and it all goes in the back of that box truck, and we drive it down to Guerrero Negro, and we get it on the salt barges that go over to Guerrero Negro.
Sure.
And then it all gets unloaded, and we have a storage facility on the island where all of that stuff goes in. And we start doing that 2 months before, May, the end of May comes, to get everything down there. And then during, the week, all the fresh stuff that goes down there, that gets put on one of the planes, the ASG Airlines plane, the same one that we fly, the Cessna Grand Caravan. It goes on the plane in Ensenada and then gets flown down to the island. But probably every 10 days to 2 weeks, we still have to have someone in Ensenada get that box truck down to Guerrero Negro to get you guys
Sure.
everything that
So
you
much to
hey
it.
I mean, even sorry, but the paper towel, the toilet paper,
Everything.
we change sheets to towels, the bed linens, everything has to go down that way. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff to make it as cozy and comfortable as it is.
But that's what it is. It's cozy and
That's
comfortable,
right.
and it's all the stuff you're used to. And it's, like you say, it's Costco. I mean, it's food and drink, and it's all the things that you're used to, but with the flair of
That's right.
of the gals in the kitchen making amazing food.
Yeah.
And
And the girls in the kitchen are expanding their menus.
They're culinary.
really?
Yes. So,
Well
I
put.
mean, from, we've added in the chili rellenos, which are to die for. And then we had, Jeff, Sushi on a Roll. Jeff was down there, and he taught the girls how to make, the rolls and the hand rolls. I mean, he just did such a great job. And
Jeff
the girls,
is such an awesome
he's
guy.
a great guy.
Willing to share.
Oh,
and
yeah.
willing to,
he just took the girls under his wing and just showed them
How cool.
everything. And they just love that. But in turn now, our customers get to enjoy it.
yeah.
And they love, I mean, come on. It's not like we don't have enough fresh fish down there,
Right?
and now it's coming to you via sushi, sashimi.
I love it.
So.
That's such good times. We're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. More of all this awesome talk about Cedros Sportfishing when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, the Sports Grid Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Wait,
And if we could,
a 40-pound white sea bass off an inflatable Hobie kayak? Tell me about that.
I'm Logan from Fastlane Kayaks on Mission Bay, and the whole story began when Ron Lane lent my parents some Hobie Mirage iTrex to put on their boat and take out to Catalina Island. That's when I borrowed the iTrek 11, threw it in my car, and drove down to Baja for a fishing and camping trip. Ended up landing a bucket list 40-pound white sea bass on the inflatable.
Dang, that sounds even better than our mammoth trip. And we packed up the kayaks in the car, snowboarded all morning, then drove down to the lakes, launched the iTrex, and fished for trout all afternoon.
Honestly, the iTrek inflatables are the ultimate fishing platform. From trout in the Sierras, calicos at Catalina, and white sea bass in the Sea of Cortez, they can do it all.
And we've documented all these trips, so check out Fastlane Kayaks on Instagram to see more. And if you think you want a kayak, but you're on the fence, come down to our shop. We're right on Mission Bay, and we would be happy to throw one in the water and let you give it a try. So call Fastlane Kayaks to schedule a demo today.
Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena is the place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. Did you know Summit is also the place to get the lowest prices on gourmet ice and snacks for your trip? $3.99 for 25 pounds of ice, as many as you want. That's half the price of others. Plus, you get 100 pounds of ice free with a 30-gallon fill. Kirkland products at lower prices than the store that makes them. Plus dozens of great snacks for just 89 cents. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time. Plus 12 diesel pumps, easy in and outs too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you. Fresh made burritos, sandwiches, salad, along with beer, beverages, and of course, always free ice. Summit Gasoline low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Whether you're boating, floating, paddling, fishing, or just chilling, remember a good day on the water always starts with everyone wearing life jackets. Save the ones you love. Life jackets save lives. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Get ready for the largest event in our history. Saturday, November 2nd, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We'll have great savings from Daiwa on Saltus, Saltiga, and the entire electric reel lineup. A fantastic offer on the Proteus rod and SK jigs, too. Over 20 manufacturers reps, including Daiwa. Plenty of seminars, saltwater experts, huge raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Up to 60% off. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And Rick, I have to congratulate you. You got the YouTube, Facebook Live up, and we can see Rosie and Jeff and talking Cedros Sportfishing.
Yeah, a couple of clicks and bumps and wires and Pete, and it's not our normal camera feed, which shows the whole studio, but just went around our studio camera to use the camera on the computer, and everybody's signing up to see Rosie's smiling face. Let's be real about it. They're not here to see Cory and I anyway. So everybody wants to see the lovely Rosie anyway. So at least that's up and running now. And
our age.
Yeah, you got. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Rosie's husband's got to be in there also.
Used to joke and say I was the eye candy on the radio when.
Eye candy on the radio.
You be both, buddy. Well, we're certainly having a great time here this morning, talking all kinds of fun and Cedros. And again, so many great texts rolling through, so many great phone calls, and we're just having a great time and looking forward to talking to you. It's been a very fun morning. And Cory, why don't we jump back into the phones? I think we got Sean standing by again here this morning. Why don't we give that another shot?
Pull him out of the penalty box. Good morning,
Sean.
Sean.
What's up, Sean?
From Chula Vista.
No, Sean, are you there?
Hello.
There you are.
Hey, good morning, Sean.
Good morning. How you doing?
Great, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I just wanted to, I've been out with Rosie twice. Like she says, everything couldn't have ran smoother. Had a really great time. Rosie's really, really nice. I go out with the Mission Bell Mafia with Reggie Wynn. Great bunch of guys. I have a really, really good time. Actually caught my first 40-pounder last year, and that was a bucket list fish. So I just wanted to vouch for Rosie, and whoever gets a chance to go, please go. I'm going to go every year until I can't anymore. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're the best, Sean. Thank you so much. And it's like, the first year meeting you, I felt like I had just another best friend. And I love that you do go every year. And, that 40+ pounder is your personal best. But guess what? There's next year. Let's get you another one.
Sean, let's hear about that 40-pounder. How'd it come? What'd you catch it on? Give us the story. That's an amazing fish. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. I got it on a Tatty 4 mint heavy. Just dropped it right down. I actually I caught it on a Cedros Okuma short rod. I just dropped it down and wind it straight up and got me on the bottom, and it kicked my butt, but I got it in.
I love
it. What a cool story.
That's awesome. One of the cool things about Cedros, too, is you can catch that fish at any time, anywhere you're fishing, and while fishing for anything. That fish could come
5 feet of water.
Exactly. I've seen fish. I've seen fish personally, like, try to rub people off, like, on the bottom, basically at where in front of the salt factory, they're like on the beach. And then Cory, you've talked about dozens of scenarios fishing in the mat of the kelp and seeing a 40-pounder come and inhale your swim bait or your surface iron.
My last trip, we were fishing calicos and a 3 or 4 pounder on and 3 30 to 40-pound yellows.
Oh my God.
Like alligators.
Yeah.
And you think they have to continually swim, but they're literally just hanging right there at the boat. Like an alligator.
Yeah, watching you.
Waiting to be fed.
Yeah.
Just great.
Feed them. Just feed them.
We and on our last trip, the big, and we had really nice quality yellowtail. I mean, our average fish was in the mid 20s. We had multiple fish, that were in the low 30-pound range. And with all that said, our biggest fish came while we were drifting for halibut.
Yeah.
We were halibut fishing, and then boom, a 38-pounder while drifting on. I mean, you can they just, again, big ones live there, and they live everywhere, and you'll catch them in all the ways, just like Sean did with a yo-yo jig or fly line and a mackerel or however it is. It's just such a good spot.
And the amount of sardine I've seen around that island the last couple times I've been there is astronomical. I mean, you got to remember, I fished sardine for 12 years.
Yeah, right.
The spots of sardine that I've seen would load the Ebco 10 times.
Yes. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, huge amounts. And
well, the bait seiners aren't allowed in there anymore, so.
Which is so they can't wrap the yellowtail, they can't wrap the bonito, they can't wrap the sardine.
That's right.
And
where there's bait,
it's a magical.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you deserve to get to go there. Yes. That's what I'm saying, man. If you've been thinking about it, just do it. Hey, Sean, appreciate the phone call again very much. Another great text came through. It says, "Good morning, guys. This has to be my absolute favorite place to hear about, and one day I'm going to make it down. This is truly my bucket list trip. My question is, what is the bait situation like at Cedros? I would love to get to fish a giant mackerel for an even bigger yellowtail. Also, what is the fish processing situation? Is there any chance I could be involved? Breaking down fish is my favorite part of the catch." That's from Rory in Lakeside.
Well, Rory in Lakeside, let's start with the bait down there. In the morning you can go out and you can put your sabiki setups on, and I always giggle because we get people that they'll text me pictures with their sabikis coming up, and there'll be the sardine or the mackerel, but every once in a while someone goes a little bit low and they get the cutest little calicos.
Yeah.
It's like, okay guys, you're going a little too far down there, just a few feet there.
But there's so many mackerel in that harbor.
Well, let me tell you, we had a gentleman this year, and you guys all know him, and he literally pulled up a mackerel. It was a foot long mackerel. He put it on the little on the cooler. There's a little scale on the cooler. Goes, check this, or a ruler. Yeah. He was like, look at this mackerel I caught on my sabiki setup. He was so excited. But anyways, it went into the bait tank, and he saved that for something special.
Feed that to some big grouper, a big giant yellow.
And that's and so so the bait's there.
And so for fish cleaning, Rory, if Rory gets to know the boys, which I mean, anybody can open the door and take a look, and we did, and
please do go in there and take a look. And I mean, as far as wanting to maybe fillet your own fish,
probably
not, just because there are liability purposes. We do.
We had
son number 2.
Once.
Son number 2.
Happen. Everybody's been on a moving boat. You might have had a few beers or cocktails, and son number 2 went up there and wanted to show him how he did it should be done. He ended up at the island hospital.
Oh, come on.
Like stitches that went across the top of his thumb and down the pad of his thumb.
Yeah.
Apparently your guys use sharp knives.
Yeah.
Very sharp knives. Well, absolutely.
Anyways, yes.
So
you can watch.
You can watch. There
you can be a part of it.
Yes, absolutely. And there is actually how we talked about how we're constantly evolving.
Yeah.
We had a customer just this last trip that made a suggestion that you guys catch a lot of fish. This is not like I giggle. People are down at the CBX and they're like, man, I hope I catch something.
Yeah.
And we all just laugh because they don't know what they're in for if it's their first time.
Oh my God.
You will catch fish.
Yeah.
And, depending on the size of fish, if you're catching 25 to 40 pounders all day, every day, you might have an excess of fish. And so what their suggestion is a priority list for the fish house on how to pack their fish to come home.
Oh, that is a good idea. Yeah.
So I have always told them all the exotics first. Your exotics being your bass, your grouper, your white sea bass, your halibut. Yeah, anything other than halibut. And then always the prime pieces of the yellowtail, the shoulders, the center sections. Well, we had our really good friend Terry down there just a couple of weeks ago. He goes, Rosie, he goes, he goes, halibut to me. He goes, I'll give my halibut away. It's like, what? Give it to me.
Yeah.
But, he wanted his prime pieces of yellowtail and in a different order, which I was surprised because I Sorry, but I just assumed.
Sure.
So I have now made a little tally sheet that will go down with you guys in your packets.
So cool.
That'll have your name on it and the priority of the fish the way you want it to be packed.
That's a great call. And you have always even when you're bringing the maximum, in my case, maybe even over the maximum amount of weight that you're supposed to be bringing, you still get to bring a ton of fish home. But you have always preached you don't need the kitchen sink at Cedros. They bite everything.
Yes.
They do your laundry.
Correct.
You don't need your boots.
Nope.
Scale down on what you're bringing, and then you'll be able to bring even bonus to the maximum amount of fish allowed, because if you're bringing even less of your travel weight down, you get to, on the way home, you get to include even more fish weight coming back.
Absolutely. And another thing for all those people that are going in mid-September, and this is, I'm not going to say you can always do this, but if it is available, mid-September is lobster season.
Ooh.
Okay. Now I had a group that came back this last Tuesday, and you know what? Everybody had 2 kilos, I think 2 kilos of lobster in their bags.
Incredible.
So they purchased the lobster. So that obviously was their priority. And then they did their priority fish.
And you have a receipt with that, and it's
all done.
back
It's
legitimate.
all done. Yeah. You're buying it there like you'd be buying it anywhere else.
Absolutely. So
only at Cedros Sportfishing.
Only at Cedros Sportfishing.
I love it. You guys are so rad.
But it worked out really well. It's like these guys were like, we can buy lobsters. Like, yes, you can.
So do they bring it back whole, or is it just the
tails? Just the
Are
tails.
you kidding me?
We had it for dinner last night.
A kilo.
And you're saying 2 2.25 pound, so they're bringing damn near 500 pounds but just of tails.
Just of tails.
Oh, I like
Which,
it.
by the way, we
Sign me up.
how did we do it last night? We chicken fried lobster last night with filet mignon for our daughter's congratulation dinner for their getting engaged.
Hey,
so chicken fried lobster.
Right?
That's awesome. What a cool deal. Well, with that, let's jump right back into the phones, Cory.
Let's do it. How about Joey? Joey calling from Inglewood. Good morning, Joey.
Hey, Joey.
Go ahead, Malachi.
Hey. Hi, Malachi. How are you?
Hi, Rosie.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
I am doing well. What do you get to do this year?
Well, I recently got a fundraiser, a GoFundMe with Reggie,
Yes.
and next year I can come to Cedros.
Awesome. That's so rad. Cool. And has that been a trip that you've been always wanting to do?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, that's right. Well, we are so excited to have you down there because, Malachi, your dad knows this. You guys are the next generation. You guys are the ones that are, your dad is passing the fishing on to you and has instilled a love of fishing into you. You get to come down and fish Cedros next year. And I have no doubt that when you're all grown up and you have a family, you're going to pass this on to your son. And we just absolutely love that.
That's so rad. And that was something that Reggie put together. Knowing that Malachi absolutely lives and breathes fishing, loves it. This was his dream trip, and Reggie assisted in putting that together to get a bunch of buds and fishing people and say, "Hey, man, this kid is dying to go." And now that goal is achieved. Malachi, sounds like you're going to get to go be a part of it. Now, I have a question. Are you more excited about the calico bass part of Cedros? Are you more excited about the yellowtail part of Cedros? Are you like Cory and you're more excited about bringing home a year's worth of killer food to eat? Like what is it that you're the most pumped up about going on your big trip next year?
Food.
The food. All right. That's a good answer, buddy.
No doubt.
To stop at the little market and get some ice cream and candies. And
that's
totally a good time too. Hey, so what I'd like to know is, how do I get to donate to his?
Oh, we already have.
Okay. Yeah, I did
what's
too.
The site? What's the site? Where do we go find it?
It was a GoFundMe that Reggie put out on his social media, and I am just blown away and blessed at how many people jumped in so fast to help get him down to Cedros.
Yeah.
So
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I just need you to make me one promise. After your trip, you got to call the show and let us know how it went. I want to hear about all your big ones. I want to hear about all the bass fishing. We want the full report when you come back. All right, buddy.
All right.
To all those who donated.
You're very welcome. I know I speak on everybody's behalf when I say that our family, and I know Rosie's and everybody else that donated, was really happy to do it. Sounds like you really deserve it, and I hope you have an awesome trip. Have the best time ever down there. That's really cool. Can't wait to see the photos.
Super cool.
Thanks,
All right,
Malachi.
Have a great trip, buddy. Appreciate that very much.
What a great story. We're going to be right back. You're listening to Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to come back with the fish reports and more when we return on Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
I've had the opportunity to fish many places in many different types of water, but never have I fished a place as much fun as Katmai Lodge in Alaska. Hello, my name is Harold Davis, typically fishing in the ocean, but this is an experience that you have to try for yourself. Fish natural rivers with tens of thousands of fish coming up. And they have all the gear: spinning, bait casting, fly rods, kings, silvers, pinks, sockeyes, and my favorite, the chums. Outstanding food, outstanding accommodations, great service. The lodge is located in the beautiful Katmai National Park, filled with amazing wildlife. Brown bears, moose, eagles, otters, and it has spectacular scenery. And also the fact that the lodge is located right on the Alagnak River and your boat is just steps away from your room makes it great. Do yourself a favor. Call Charmel at 1-800-330-0326 or go online, katmai.com. And like Pete says, they will hook you up.
Saturday, November 2nd is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Come see seminars by saltwater experts, great deals on tackle from Shimano, like Terramar rods with TC4 blank construction. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
The best just got better. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 20A and 25A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship two-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. The Shimano's Talica success is driven by its durability and spec attributes, allowing the series to differentiate from other lever drag reels within the market. The Talica is built around a cold-forged machined aluminum one-piece frame. The all-new Talica 20A and 25A now boasts Infinity Drive. Infinity Drive employs two drag washers housed in the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load as much as 40%. There's also a new lower low gear. If your utmost concern is performance without compromise, Talica 20A and 25A are the reels for you. Available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Sports Grid Radio Network is the premier audio streaming channel dedicated to serving the massive sports wagering and fantasy audience. Found on the Sports Grid app and SiriusXM. Sports Grid's real-time data transforms viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Get the best in-game live coverage during all the games, as well as the most in-depth pre-game previews from hosts like Scott Farrell, Donnie Rightside, Ben Stevens, Gabe Morency, and many more. To find out where you can listen to Sports Grid, go to sportsgridradio.com. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing: need a thinner leader for more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations with better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at seaguar.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank Capresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on Earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the 2 best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at royalpolarissportfishing.com or shogunsportfishing.com.
Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Cory Sanden.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup coming your way here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Sports Grid Radio Network, Facebook Live, Instagram, YouTube Live. It's everywhere, man. It's such a great time here listening on that Let's Talk Hookup app. That's my way. If I'm listening to the show on a weekend when we're hanging with the fam or out or dealing with a broken arm, I'm a Let's Talk Hookup app guy. That's my favorite way. It's easy. It's you can catch the archive shows if you're not listening live. Adam does such a great job. My bad, Adam. I'll get you those photos right away. That's my favorite is on the Let's Talk Hookup app. But so many ways, including if you haven't done already, the Facebook Live is so fun. You get to hop on right now. You can see Rosie and Jeff's smiling face and talking about the island and talking about what we do and what we love. And now we're just having a great time here. This first hour has flown by, but don't you worry. We got another full hour of fun coming your way here on Let's Talk Hookup.
It's just talking good times and a place we love to be with good people. And if you want to join us, a couple ways to do it. As Rick mentioned, you can give us a call at 213-432-1090. I think all the lines are full.
Everything full right now.
Yeah, you can hang out there, or you can text us via the app, and we're giving away a $300 gift certificate to Costa Del Mar, man. Go on there, choose whatever you want. Like you said, you had one of our listeners come into the shop.
Yeah, Tom was in literally yesterday trying on different pair. I think he settled on a Tuna Alley was his favorite, but so many great pairs and so many different things that those guys do. It's all about finding the frame that fits your face and then choosing a lens option that's right for what you do the most part. I'm still a silver mirror gray lens guy. I like a regular gray neutral lens, but so many great stuff. That new gold, green mirrors really popular now. It's a lot of fun. Costa's got so much great stuff.
Somebody can win that today, Rick.
You got
Give
that,
us a
man.
Call or send us a text.
No doubt. And with that said, it's time to find out what's biting. I know we got our guys standing by this morning, and going to be a great catch report today, I'm sure, with this fall kind of kicking in. We had that little funky weather roll through. I think this is going to be a good one, Cory.
I think so too, Rick. And it's brought to us by Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. And it's the place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. Did you know that Summit also is the place to get your lowest prices on ice and snacks for your trip? 25 cents for your first 5 pounds of ice. Wow. And $3.99 for every 25-pound bag. I was just there a couple days ago, and it's incredible. $4.
Those guys kill it, man.
Right? And as many as you want. And that's half the price of others. Plus, you get 100 pounds of free ice. Can't believe this one still continues, man. 100 pounds of free ice with a 35-gallon fill-up and the Kirkland products at lower prices in the store that makes them. Dozens of great snacks for just 89 cents and so much more. Summit Gasoline for all your good stuff there.
No doubt about it. Hey, with that said, we're going to find out what's biting. We're going to start our catch report off with our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge on the line. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Ricky and Cory, Rosie, Jeff. Great show again this morning. You guys are having way too much.
Yeah, we always
really
do.
are, no doubt.
Yeah, but hey, we are creeping up on mid-October, and I got to tell you, usually by this time of year, I just love talking about all that fine fall fishing.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a little different feel here to this season this year. But still plenty going on, and we got plenty of time to be enjoying it. So now up there at the Northern Islands, they're just kind of waiting. They're on hold, actually. That weather's coming up again this weekend. It looks to blow here for the next few days. So probably check that one off your list there. Same with Nick. It's out there in the wind and forecast to blow a bit. So that island has really had a pretty long rest because of the weather situation. Santa Barbara, it's kind of on the edge of the weather, but probably not worth it just yet. But I'll be talking a little more about Santa Barbara Island next week. And then now over at Catalina, the standard kelp line critters are there. They're always there. And realistically, it's not too exciting. Really good cod fishing, though. But remember, you got to fish out there in 300 plus now, guys. They changed the regs. No shallow water cod fishing, 300 feet plus or else.
Wow.
But with this cooler water that we're seeing now, there's a lot of squid that showed up over at that island, and that is really worthy news. It's easy to make your own bait right now, guys. A lot of bait. Backside east, backside middle like that. There's quite a bit of bait. But there's not much fish on the bait like you kind of expect. That bait ground's fishing it's not that time yet. So what you got to do is make your bait and then relocate towards some deep structure to target those tanker grade yellows that are around. And we're going to talk more about that next week, quite a bit more actually. So San Clemente Island, kind of slow for a stretch, but just like Catalina, a bunch of new baits moved in, kind of perking things up a little bit. There's more bait in the cove along some spots up the back. I had a really interesting conversation with one of the guys that works on the Fury about some of the spots they're fishing up the back. And I told him one of those spots he was fishing, that's a private boat spot, man. That's my spot. Stay the hell out of it. I don't think they were buying it, though. And on the front side, also some more bait moved in there, more squid, kind of up there in that Gold Bluff section. A little more signal on both yellows and sea bass both over there. That's good news. And then offshore, did not get much this week on the yellowfin that have been around the backside of Catalina. Been some really nice ones on the dolphin schools. Didn't hear anything this week, and but still scattered bluefin out in that sector, and that's kind of inside the main bunch of fish. And the main bunch of fish settled back down on Tanner and then out to the Cherry. I mean, that's way out west, and especially with the weather coming up, gonna preclude most of the private boats from getting out there. But they'll probably still be around for a long time. But some of that's big. I think one of the sport boat guys got one 210 this week.
Ooh, wow. Nice one. Jeez.
Yeah. It's good news. And then that yellow and tuna at the islands, I'm not getting into that, but I'll bet Danny, when he does the report tomorrow, is probably going to tell you about some of that stuff at Coronado. So lots going on, guys, and it's definitely time to go fishing.
No doubt. Just because it's the Private Boater Buddy report, Mark, just for the sake of, we had a couple of customers this week finally get into what hasn't happened in a while of some good tuna fishing on our local banks again. Like, the standard run, San Diego, the 425, 302, 371, that kind of little triangle that most of our local tuna, which has been void most of this season. There was a few little foamer spots of bluefin, and several guys caught that big grade yellowfin on porpoise schools this week. It was a welcome miss. Most of the season, that zone, which is normally the bread and butter, has kind of been a little bit void. And we had several customers have good fishing. I mean, good fishing maybe isn't the right word, but like catching tuna. And if you get one of those yellowfin on the dolphin schools, I mean,
40 to 70 pounds?
It
really has been like a 40 or 50 pound average. Yeah. And, I heard a fish, exactly like you say, upwards of 70 pounds. So nice to see that. And just like you said, that really good fishing that happened at the Coronado Islands for the sport boat fleet again this week. There's it's still October, man. There's still time to go.
And that yellowfin is so fatty and buttery, man. It is unlike any local yellowfin I've ever seen.
Pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah. Mark, some good fishing going on.
I had a piece of that local yellowfin here a week or two ago, and boy, just like you're saying, Corey, it's like, oh my God, this is good.
That's so rad.
So it is only mid-October, and a lot of times this goes for a long time yet. So that's really good news about that local fish showing up in your little local zone. We got hosed up here this year. Just so little local fish. It was very strange. Didn't expect it with the way it started, but it is what it is. We take the ocean as it is and just make the best of what we got. But time to go fishing, guys.
Well said, buddy. Great job. Great report as always, Mark. If you want to join in on all that great fish dope information and save $30 off of a new membership, you can use the code Hookup now. It's all lowercase, no space, saves you $30. And Mark, if somebody wants to come find you, get the best bait tanks on the water, how do we find you?
Ricky, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by the big Chevron station, and the phone number at the store is 714-840-4262. The website's PacificEdgeTackle.com. And time to go fishing, guys.
Awesome. Great job, buddy. Appreciate a great report as always, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
We'll see you.
Hey, appreciate that. Well, we got a little bonus to the catch report today. We got Captain Mike Pritchard of the Tribute on the line this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Great, buddy. Always great to hear from you on the boat. We can hear that sonar clicking around in the background. Tell us what the fishing. What's been going on in the Tribute?
You know, I think I'm just going to record that so I can play it at home.
There you go. That's the move. Yeah.
Have that baby going in the background.
Guy screaming fresh one. You know, get your neighbors over.
Get out there and yell at the dog a couple of times to move and follow their bones.
I love it. I love it.
You know, we're off to a good start. Our last trip, we got out with, it's fall fishing. I know there's counts have been a little bit all over, but our last trip, we got out with a dozen people. We had easy limit the bluefin. We had fish over 100 pounds.
Nice.
Limit the big fat reds. Now that it's opened up past 50 fathoms, and a lot of these spots. This morning, first day of a 2-day trip. It's a pin air 2-day that we have a couple times a year. Alex Miranda, the charter master, just put on like a 50-pounder, and he's sitting down to his Moco Loco. We've got seven bluefin on the boat here. We only have 20-man charter, so nice light load. Only about half of them are fishing right now. But I think we just boated our 7th one. We got 4 or 5 hanging, and it looks like most guys are doing about the same. Just a lot of guys on the anchor out here. Big spread to fish too. And it looks like everybody's got a little bit going on. So. Oh, we just hooked another one.
I just want to get this straight. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. You're hanging out on the anchor. Guys are picking sardines out of the tank, casting them out in nice conditions. Half the boat is bent right now. Yeah. That we'll take that just fine. I want to make sure we're not just glossing over that. Half your guys are attached. The other guys are having
their Moco Loco. Oh, God, you got me there.
Sign us up, buddy.
Well, make sure when I do that recording it, so I can play it at home. You get the occasional fresh one in the background.
Yeah, there you go.
Our little pinhead Kyle here. He's on his way to becoming something good. But he's back there, and you can hear him probably from another boat away yelling fresh ones. So
I love it. Love it.
That's
awesome.
What's the key to getting a bite this morning, Mike?
This anchor fishing. It's been like this out here almost all year. Like. It's hard to get a bait away from the boat. We've had breeze on almost all these trips. So wind's going one direction, current's going the other. Actually, a shoulder hook bait. Butt hook bait's not a bad way to go. You only get to fish it for a few minutes. But so far, 30-pound and a shoulder hook bait. Some of these things have been bigger. If you look at our Facebook and our Instagram from last trip, we had fly line fish. Guys somehow landing, 120-pounders on 40-pound, which
jeez.
Wow. It is
That's
not
a lot
fun,
of fish.
in my opinion.
That's a lot of fish on 40-pound.
But there's some really nice fish. Some 50-pounders here this morning. So there's good mixed grade. It's fall fishing. For whatever reason, these things just seem to fatten up. You got a fish that was probably 20 pounds a few months ago. It seems like it's 25 pounds now. They seem exceptionally delicious this time of year.
I love it. I love it. Awesome, Mike. Well, a great job. Sounds like you guys are having some excellent fishing, and trip's well under its way. Any opportunities to come fishing to get in on this great fall fishing that's happening on board the Tribute?
You know what? We have a day and a half leaving tomorrow night. It's got 6 spots left. Last time I looked, it's the Pizza Port sponsored trip. We all know about those. You half off Pizza Port beer, complimentary pizza before we leave for the guys doing a drive down from LA or whatever. They get down here, they don't have to run McDonald's. They get a couple of pieces of really tasty pizza and half off beer. And there's 6 spots left on that one. Tuesday night we have a Turner's Outdoor sponsored trip, which is always good for a bunch of giveaways.
Cool.
Always fun trips, and that thing's only half full. I think there's like 15 spots left.
Awesome. How fun. Well, certainly. And again, and the fishing's great. I mean, you talk about that. It's daytime. It's live bait fishing. It's a thing we all love to do. Half the boat's got one on right now. Mike, sounds like fun to us. Appreciate a great report. Glad you guys are getting them, and maybe check in with us next week. Let us know how those 2 trips that are going, and hopefully somebody out there that hears is going to get to go.
Yeah, there's 5 guys up here in the bow pulling on fish. So it doesn't look
I love it. The other thing.
Man, you guys have a good weekend.
You got it, buddy. Appreciate it.
We're 8 on board now.
Keep getting them, Mike. Thanks for the report. Let's head on down to San Diego, over to C4 Sportfishing, the home of the Tribute, and talk to Marcos, who's on the line right now. What's up, Marcos? Yo, Marcos. Well, it looks like we need to bring Marcos up there when we get a chance, Chris. And in the meantime, boy, some great fishing going on. And I got a really cool trip to get to tell you about, too. We have a Let's Talk Hookup sponsored. This is something we don't normally do. It's a full-day trip on board the Liberty to the Coronado Islands. And it's coming up on October 16th. So let's see. That is on Wednesday, 10/16. It's a full-day trip to the islands. Now, this is the same as, we do a lot of those Let's Talk Hookup 2-day trips. This will be exactly the same. Tons of giveaways, tons of prizes, which you don't normally see on a trip as short as a full-day trip.
Right.
There's going to be lots of giveaways from Gamakatsu. We've got a bunch of giveaways from Shimano and Aftco, Seagar, the whole nine. It's a really fun trip. And we talked about it there a little bit. There's some very good fishing going on at the Coronado Islands.
Incredible
that
fishing.
we've seen, both yo-yo jig fishing and surface fishing for that great yellowtail. So, again, it's a Let's Talk Hookup sponsored trip, full day to the Coronado Islands on the Liberty on Wednesday, 10/16. All the giveaways are included. If you want to book one of those, just call the guys at Fisherman's Landing, 619-221-8500. And we do have the man on the line now, Marcos from C4 Sportfishing. Good morning, Marcos.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, we got a chance to hear from Mike there. Sounds like there's some good fishing going on.
Yeah, I figured you'd just do my job for me. But very good fishing on those longer trips there. And like I said, we're getting into the middle of October, and those bluefin are still biting, so that's definitely nice to see on those longer trips. On the not so longer trips, the full days, the San Diego and the Sea-Watch fishing the Coronado Islands, they're seeing some pretty good yellowtail fishing. Yesterday, the San Diego had 28. Day before that, they had 59. Day before that, they had 40. Some good bottom fishing in the mix there. And those yellowtail aren't really small ones. I was talking to Mike on the San Diego today, and he said a lot of those fish are in that 15 to 30-pound range. So a little bit more traditional islands fishing, but just with some better numbers. So very good fishing there. Locally, those half-day trips, very, very good bottom fishing. Rockfish, reds, whitefish, sheephead, sculpin. And if you're coming down for those, the morning trips are fishing deep, 600 feet plus there. The afternoon trips fishing a little bit shallow. So make sure you're geared properly there. Of course, we have gear if you need to rent it, but especially if you're coming on those morning trips, make sure you have something that can fish deep there. So check the website, seaforthlanding.com. The full schedule up there for those half days, the full days, the 1 days and longer. And you heard how good the fishing was there. You can make your reservation straight online. Give us a call at the office, 619-224-3383. Come down and visit us in person. Get your gear all set up there, because like I said, we talk about here, sometimes where the local fishing gets really good in October into November. So hopefully the season ekes out a little bit longer here.
Awesome. Well said. Good fishing to be had. Let's keep it rolling. Appreciate a great report, Marcos. We'll talk to you next week.
We'll talk to you then, guys.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate that. That's going to wrap up our catch report today, man. There's some good fishing going on, Cory.
I agree with you, and it's brought to us by Fisherman's Processing, and where you get your premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by the location in Old Town, or you can check them out at fishmansprocessing.com. And make sure you make your reservations today.
Phone lines are absolutely packed up. It has been a very, very busy morning on the phones. If you want to get through, 213-432-1090 is your shot. Cory, let's jump into them.
Let's do it. Let's talk to the one and only Reggie.
There we go.
Reggie and Camarillo. Good morning, Reggie.
Hey, Reggie.
Yo, good morning, guys. Good morning. Hey, Ricky, man, I totally owe all this to you, man, about meeting Rosie and this whole bit. I've been going down there since 2018, and I'm already going to be going down for the third time this season here in the next week or so. So
three trips this year.
For you, man. That's rad.
I think he's hooked.
Yeah.
I love that.
We didn't hook him. We gaffed him.
I've got a quick story, and I haven't asked for Rosie. The quick story is the guy, Sean, earlier, who called in, we call him Bootsy, by the way.
Yeah, Bootsy.
I'll get to that later. But, yeah, he did. The part that he didn't share is that I think it was like 43-pounder he got. That was the jackpot for our charter back in July. So amongst the group, it was obviously 12 of us. So we decided to chip in $100 each, and whoever got the largest on a jig, no bait, just only lures.
Love that.
They would collect that $1,200. So Sean won, and guess what he does? He donates that money to the whole lodge.
Oh,
And
that's
I was like,
rad.
wow, this is pretty. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But it gets even better. It gets even better, guys. So stand by for this one. So he wants to take a picture with Mai and Ma, and when they're taking the picture, he yells out, "Queso!" Like, who does
Say
that? Like,
cheese. Yeah.
Queso.
I love it.
yeah, I don't speak Spanish that well. I know they don't say queso when they're gonna take pictures.
Yeah, no, they don't.
You yell out queso, they're gonna smile. So Sean's that guy in our group, man. We always give him a hard time and everything, but it's all fun and games.
That's
and
awesome.
And Rosie, the ask. Let me get to the ask here, and I'll make it quick, guys. I know you guys got to go. So, Rosie, we know that you're a made woman at the CBS. Anybody who goes on these trips, you watch Rosie in action, everybody does whatever she wants. Like, she just points and things just happen. So, in true mafia form and fashion, Rosie, we have an ask for you. Can you please get with Immigration and Customs and have them confiscate Sean's boots? His boots are freaking, they're hilarious. Like, he wears them up to his knees. And they look like something like a exotic dancer we're working over at Pacers.
It's funny. You should see his boots. It's like the traveling pants. Well, the traveling boots. They're everywhere. I mean, he'll wake up in the morning and his boots are under the coffee table where the legs are.
That's
I mean,
great.
it's just they just do so many things with his boots. Poor Sean.
Which is so
He's
funny
such a
too, because talk about a place where they're just not even necessary whatsoever. I mean, you bring your flip flops. Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, that's great. And man, what a great time you have. And Reggie, I know you do several trips a year down there. You can speak to it already, but are your trips always all full ahead of time? Is there an opportunity to come with the group? Clearly you guys have a good time. Are you looking for guys to fill your spots, or are those a sacred thing and the groups are all full?
That's a great question, Ricky. Actually, for the first time, we actually have a waiting list for our trip in July. So I'm going to get with Rosie after the show and see if I can get another date so I can have two different charters down there. So, yeah, we actually have a waiting list on the current trip in July. So I'm totally excited for that, man. So,
and it's all
looking forward to talking to Rosie about that as well.
And it's all for the same reason that we've been talking about for the last hour and a half. It's because it really is that good. And I know you can attest to it. The food, the service, the fishing, it's a total package.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the food is super underrated. Like, that's one of the main reasons why I want to go back. And those ladies, they know how to cook. I want to marry them already.
The thing that blows me away too is
I'm a foodie at heart, and you'll see my feed every night. I'm posting the food they make, the desserts. I mean, those ladies are on it. And just lastly, guys, I mean, that fundraiser I did for Malachi, I am completely blown away by the response, and just all my friends, including you, Rick, Rosie, you, and Jeff. I mean, you'd be amazed how quick we raised the money for that. And I mean, I just literally almost get emotional just thinking about it, because I was that kid in the inner city too who wanted to go on these type of trips. And when I saw the face of Malachi when we were at the CBS, Joey had FaceTimed him, and he was so sad that he couldn't come. And I told Joey, tell Malachi he's coming next year, because I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure he goes.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool stuff.
Well, great job, Reggie. You're a good dude for making it happen. Appreciate the phone call, and we'll look forward to hearing your report when you're down there next time getting it on that big fish.
For sure, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the call, and you guys have a great day.
I appreciate that very much. Thanks, Reggie. Hey, another great text coming through from Dave in Anaheim. It says, I'd really like to do variety fishing when I come down there. It sounds like such an amazing and prolific fish catching place. My question is, do you keep the same captain the entire trip, or do you switch it up?
It kind of depends on the group that's going down there. I've got a few groups that have gone in the last few weeks where they all know each other and they want to switch it up every day. So I give them the personalities of the captains, what the captains like to fish for. And then every day they switched out who they fished with, not only as far as the captain, but their Ponga mates. So yeah, you can, depending on who you're fishing with, you can switch out captains. Absolutely. All you have to do is let Oscar or Sandra, depending on what lodge you're at, know what you're doing for the next day so they can make sure the rods and the tackle go down to the right ponga in the morning. And as far as the variety of fish, you know, this last week was really tough. We were catching limits by like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
So difficult. I know.
So, and the ponga captains were fabulous. What they did is they actually took that fish back to the harbor, so the dock crew could get it filleted and get it into the freezer right away. And then they went back out, and I mean, I had one group that they said they caught more than 50 more yellowtail catch and release. And then they said they were sore the next day. They said they would never do that again. I was like, sure you won't. But then they went out and they started, you know, let's try to get some, you know, some sheephead. I mean, that's not bad eating right there. Right. Let's get some sheephead and some calico and some, you know, grouper, some white sea bass and halibut, and try to get a nice mixed bag to take home. They did. They did. They had a great time.
I love it. It's such a cool place. Yeah, and you get to do that. I mean, you really do. When your arms are too sore and you want to go do something else, you tell the boys, and that's what you do.
Exactly.
I love it. That's really fun.
That's such good times. We're going to be right back. You're listening to Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. We've got Rosie and Jeff when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Everyone has their go-to
fishing
fishing
crazy.
spot. My
Javier will
spot
text
is
me,
Kingfisher
and
Charters
it is
in
just
Sitka,
unbelievable.
Alaska.
Limits
Rock Cod Rib
7:38.
Curious,
Limits
for
8
the
o'clock.
ultimate Alaska
You know, it's like,
experience
good
and the
Lord.
best value in Alaska. It's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally, all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters, and you'll thank
then
me.
Javier says,
Kingfisher
and it's
Charters,
limits that we already threw the smaller ones back.
800-727-6136,
And we kept
or check
the bigger ones, and it's
KingfisherCharters.com.
Saturday, November
That's
2nd,
unbelievable.
it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's
This year
Landing
was
in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Shimano. Come check out the new Shimano Talica A, the pinnacle of lever drag two-speed reels. Talica features Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest loads. When throwing jigs, the Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. For the best ever tackle markets, check out Fisherman's Landing.
Yeah, exactly.
Fall from the sky.
Lobster season.
I want to go.
It's
I'm
time
going to
gear
go
up
next
with
year.
the best
I
in the
think the boys
business.
are
Promar
old enough.
based in SoCal.
Graham, I'm going to try and take Dallas. You know, depending on how things
Which one? The first one?
Probably. I don't even know where.
Yeah, let me
he's
look,
got 'em or
because I
not.
think the first one I might not have 2 spots on, but I might have 2 spots on.
The first one I think is closer
designed for SoCal lobster hooping. Visit Promar on Facebook or on the web at promarahi.com.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the In the Know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence, delivers the top quality, comfort, and fishability you look for in a long-range boat. Veteran captains Mark Pisano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Once you go on the Independence, you'll be back. Call Independence Sports Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check independencesportfishing.com.
Welcome
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And Rick, this is so cool, just hanging out for 2 hours talking about such a beautiful place on this planet. And why do all the cool things happen at Islands, man? That's what I want to know,
No doubt, man.
Talking Cedros Sportfishing.
Something special about it, that's for sure.
Right?
You know, you guys were telling us something very cool at the break that you have added this year that I thought was a great call, and it's just yet again easing on people's tackle, and that's always the biggest question. We get it all the time at the shop, and what do I bring and how much? And it's like that forever balance of I want to pack right, but I don't want to be missing something, but I don't want to run out of a hot jig. And you guys have taken extra steps to help with that on all fronts. Give us a little rundown what you're telling Cory and I at the break.
As you walk into our workroom, there was always Weechu's office to the right, and we've actually just cleared that completely out. We made some nice little custom wood hangers up there that we can put all kinds of lures on, and line, and sinkers, and
the jig selection looked incredible.
The jig selection is great, because there's a lot of times guys go down there and they're still learning that the fish aren't line shy, so you really need to line up. I mean, 50 pound is a good thing, maybe even 60 right now. 80 pound, some guys are doing 80 to 80, but maybe your knot tying's like mine. It's not up to snuff, and you might lose a few jigs. Well, you know what? The tackle store is no further than a few steps away.
So you've got a tackle store on site now that's well stocked, and it's just got the same deal. If you lose your favorite scrambled egg yo-yo jig, you can roll right into the shop and just pick up another one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk to Cory and get some more swim baits.
I would bet you do. Yeah. And in addition to that, you have rod and reel rental available. You were showing us if somebody
we have loaner rods. So basically, you can take a loaner rod, no reel, and bring your reel and put it on there.
How nice
and
is
that is just a loaner. Thanks for coming here. Take the rod. And then we have rod and reel setups that you can rent.
Yeah, so that you can cover the cost of line and maintenance on the reel and that kind of stuff afterwards.
Yeah, what a great way to do it though, because the reels are so easy to pack and bring and do it that way. But to have to bring rods anywhere is a pain, right? But it is so easy on Cedros, right? But if you want to just borrow your rods, what a slick deal.
Well, the other thing we have is that in the house that's next to us that we own, we actually have a tackle storage room. So if you wanted to leave some tackle down there, rods, reels, tackle, everything gets labeled and it gets put in there. And the next time you come, they'll unlock the room.
So Rosie, if I come once a year, I can leave my rods.
You can. You sure can.
I can leave my.
You can leave your tackle. You can leave. You can bring sinkers and not have to worry about taking them home.
My 50 pounds of gear.
Yes, exactly.
So I can bring back 50 pounds of fish.
Yeah, if you're
come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a guy that kind of toes the line on the amount of weight and fishing tackle that you bring,
Ricky,
that's a really good call, man. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah. You think about that, and you go down there with the laundry service that Rosie has. You could get there with 2 pairs of shorts, 2 t-shirts, a pair of flip-flops.
Yeah.
A sweatshirt or
maybe a light
windbreaker.
Yeah. And that's it.
But
a hoodie.
How nice you bring all that gear down, and then from there on, all your trips, you're rolling down with a backpack. Yeah, you're rolling down with a backpack and no gear, no nothing. Ease of not like there's not like it's tough to do that in the airport. We all do it on every trip, but how nice to not have to.
Imagine leaving a bag that has some shirts and shorts in it already.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And all you're doing is walking across.
Why do I feel like Reggie, the jig fisherman extraordinaire, spearheaded this whole thing?
Yeah, exactly.
We have guys that literally give their clothes to Floor. Floor makes sure they all get washed, and it gets put into the tackle room for next year.
Oh, come on. This is it, man. Sign me up.
Are you kidding
I'm in.
Just tell me if another lodge does that. We're the only ones that do that.
Well, this is a perfect timing on this. A great text came through that kind of touches on that. It says, Cory, my question is, how do I best pack to minimize my weight? What's the minimum gear I can bring, but still not be missing anything? And then he also asked, indeed, he'd heard mention of it, but wanted to know if the laundry service really was a thing. And so how can a guy most minimally pack, but still be prepared for everything? And Jeff, I'd love for you to chime in on this too. You've done so many trips down there. What do you guys think?
Cory?
I mean, Rosie said it the simplest: a few sun shirts, a few pair of shorts, and I bring flip flops. I wear a pair of tennis shoes. I mean, no deck boots.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
unless
you
you're
don't need your long range extra toughs,
No.
guys.
Yeah.
You really
No.
just don't.
No.
Maybe the
No.
shorties, but I mean, I'll have to post a picture of me. I literally will fish barefoot or
Yeah,
in
same.
socks.
Totally.
Yeah.
I wear my flip flops down to the boat and I kick them off when I get
Yep.
on board, and that's it. Like,
Yep.
and in terms of tackle and rods and reels, you do as I say, not as I do. But you really don't need a ton. You know, you don't. Like, if you're truly talking minimum, you need a bass rod. I think you need a surface iron rod.
Yep.
And then you need a general purpose,
Yes.
call it a 40-pound live bait
Yep.
outfit. And
Yep.
with that, you
Absolutely.
could dropper loop, you could fly line a mackerel, you could troll a Rapala, you
Rip
could catch a
halibut.
grouper. Exactly. You could do it with just those 3 rods.
Absolutely.
And you
Absolutely.
don't need to bring 50 pounds of jigs and sinkers and hooks because they're down there.
Yeah.
If you take 3 or 4 of your favorite surface iron
Yeah.
and a yo-yo, a bag of 2-0 hooks, maybe 3-0, a sabiki, sunscreen, chapstick, you got it covered.
Alls I'm taking on top of that is another 3600 that can't close the lid with surface iron, maybe another one with yo-yo jigs, probably 2 or 3 gallon bags worth of swim baits, a ton of lead heads, way more sinkers than I need, a bunch of fluorocarbon. Yeah, I'm not a great packer. I'm just not. I can't, but I love it. It's my favorite place to fish, and I just can't say enough. Can't say enough good things about that place.
We haven't talked about the rods. I mean, like how, because everybody had their own little style of putting the rods together to bring on, like no rod tubes, period.
No rod tubes. No rod tubes. And you're right. Everyone does have their own way of packing their rods.
Yeah.
I think Ricky, you kind of do the pool. Don't you do the pool noodle?
I like the stick jacket, which are those little nylon-y like rod sleeves.
That slide over all
the
the guys.
slide over. And then I take a big pool noodle, maybe cut it to 12 inches, and then I
put the
tool noodle over the 12 inches covering all the rod tips, and a couple of those little bungee zip tie type things, and away we go.
We put ours together, put the guides in the center, and wrap a beach towel around, and with that blue painter's tape, and down it goes, and blue painter's tape comes with us, and we bring it on back the same way.
What's nice about the rods is we used to have them in the belly of the plane. We don't do that any longer. We strap them on the wing.
Yeah.
You had me on that one.
That
seems like a great idea at all.
They go inside now.
Yeah, they go inside.
That's
but
cool.
they once you're in, and they'll hand them through the back hatch, and you just kind of, like you went to a concert that somebody jumped into the crowd.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how you get the rods in.
That's cool.
Lay them in the center,
Good to go.
you're good to go. So they're safe all along the trip. I mean, it's.
But won't that block the path to get to the bathroom?
Yeah, right.
The Gatorade bottle is your friend.
Hey, the phone lines are absolutely packed solid. We need to do it because literally since the start of the show, we have not had an open phone line. Corey, why don't we jump back into it?
Let's do it, Rick. How about Lorenzo? Lorenzo from Huntington Beach. Good morning. Welcome. Let's talk hookup.
What's up, Lorenzo?
Hey, Rosie and team. Little information. I never fished from a ponga before. Can you give us a newbie what to expect and getting on the lee side and windward side of the island on them?
Yeah. So first of all, pongas are wonderful to fish from. Obviously, low to the water. All of our pongas are super pongas. Anywhere from 28 to 33 feet. Super wide.
Say that again. How big?
28 to 33 feet.
This is a super duper ponga.
Super duper ponga. Yeah, because when most people think pongas, they're thinking like a
little
20,
tiny, little skiff.
17 to 22 feet. And it's like, oh no, these are 28 to 30 plus feet.
And they handle the weather so
they really do.
There's a reason why these style of haul are used not only up and down Mexico, but Central America,
Everywhere,
South America.
Yeah, totally.
It's a hull that can handle the weather.
Absolutely. And depending on the weather, will depend on where you can fish on the island. But the lee of the island is always fabulous. The way it sits in the water, the wind never kind of hits that lee at the south side.
It's the 25 miles of shoreline.
It is.
Yes. Okay. It can be blowing 30 on the weather side, but it might not even be 5 miles an
I
hour.
know.
Flat as a lake.
Sometimes you're praying for a little breeze.
Exactly. Like I've been there when it was so windy you couldn't fish the weather side, and it was so calm and beautiful in the lee. You're like, man, I'm dying here, and because you're hot from pulling on yellowtail all morning, and like I need something to cool me down, man. I'm jumping in.
Cervezas,
totally.
And then weather permitting, we keep a close eye on the weather daily. Weather permitting. Yeah, maybe go up to Punta Norte and drift down. You've done this before, Ricky. Just drift down the whole backside of the island.
Favorite thing in the whole
and
world.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
That calico bass fishing in like the middle of the island, which you just can't always get to. I mean, that part of the coast of Mexico can be a wind factory. Yeah. The reason Cedros is so great is, like you say, there's 25 miles that are always perfect and calm. But when the stars align and you can get to areas that you don't get to go to every time, like the middle of the island on the backside or Bonitos or one of the little extra excursions, it's just an extra bit of
well. And remember, with the way that island does sit and the wind, if there is wind on the lee, and I'm not wind on the lee on the other side, right? Remember that also protects chesters,
right?
So a lot of times you can go down to Chester's because, no wind there then
only
either.
14 miles away.
There's always somewhere, right?
That's right.
That's so cool. Yeah. Well, hey, Lorenzo, great call. Appreciate it very much. Another great text. Hey, Rosie, the best for me besides the fishing is having fun with the epic group that I go with down here every time. We always have such a good time, and we even help the ladies do the dishes afterwards.
Oh,
I'm a high-energy person that loves this place. Thanks so much for everything you do and all the good times. That's Ray Lane from Sanden.
Oh, good old Ray is a riot. And you know what? He's not kidding. When he says he helps the gals with the dishes, he helps the gals with the dishes.
That's rad, Ray.
So he just has been absorbed into everything that is Cedros.
Part of the crew.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, phones are still packed, Cory. Let's grab another.
How about it? How about Cheer? Cheer calling from Cardiff. Good morning, Cheer.
Hey, Cheer.
Oh, did Cheer drop off?
He may have. Let's try. How about Mo?
What's up, Mo?
From Vista.
Looks like maybe Chris
might have the phone
Chris has got to help us out with the phones here. Yeah. So why don't we jump back in again? Say, what a great show this is, you guys. What are the fly fishing opportunities like at Cedros Sportfishing? And also, what about fishing from the shoreline? Can we do kayaks? I'm just looking for all the alternatives. This is such a great space. John from Carlsbad.
Well, John from Carlsbad, you don't need any other alternatives, but let me tell you, they are available to you there. One of our cooks at Lodge One literally just sent me a video the other day, right at the front of the harbor, on the little jetty
to
there.
The left of the jetty? Like a little beach.
On the beach.
Okay.
On the jetty. Someone was out there, fishing. The guys are out there fishing. And all of a sudden he's hooting and hollering, and he must have brought in from shore a 15-pound yellowtail.
Wow. No way.
I'll have to post that. It
cool.
was absolute, and he was just so excited. Just
How
having
cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty darn cool.
The fly fishing opportunities. I mean, you could do it from the Ponga 100%.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's right up Jeff's alley.
And the one thing you have to remember when you are down with Cedros sport fishing, fly fishing, be very mindful of world records, because that is not something that a lot of other fly fishermen have the opportunity with all of these big yellowtail
calicos
and other species.
Yeah.
Be very mindful of what a world record is, because we get them. We get them.
I take my fly rod down there and I'll walk the beach.
Yeah.
Like when you come in the afternoon.
Run down the stairs. Well, I can't run anymore, but I get down the stairs.
You hobble.
He hobbles down the stairs.
Yep. That new hip is coming next week.
Yeah.
And you can fish the shoreline with, I mean, anything from a small dropper loop with a little plastic swim bait on it, to fly rods, to throwing a surface iron down there if you wanted to.
I truly see it being the perfect fly fisherman scenario, because I mean, you come in from the Ponga and you're worn out maybe, but you want to go give it a couple of hours. There's very little wind usually.
I was just going to say there's very little wind, right?
And there's so much in the way of halibut. There's halibut, like the chance of a yellow, the chance of
He's got legal halibut from the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like fly rod.
Like you can do it. And I suggest John bring his gear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that the guys are on the boat understand your fly fishing because it does take up some space.
It's a different, it's a different scenario than it would be.
Yeah. And if you are fly fishing, like Jeff said, let the guys on the Ponga know. First of all, let me know, because sometimes if I just have 2 guys, we'll do a 2 per Ponga situation because you need extra space.
But Rosie, what a perfect deal for 2 guys to sign up to have the same likes and wants.
Absolutely.
On the fly fishing net.
Bring your fly rod.
That's something that you can put together too. It's you pay a little bit of extra cost for the extra fuel because there's not a third person on the boat, but now it's just the 2 of you and a fly fish. If you and your bud are dedicated to the fly fishing thing, it should be that way just for extra room, and they can set up differently. But that same thing exists if it's you and your gal going down, and she'd feel a little more comfortable, whatever it might be, just having 2 people on the boat.
I'll be honest with you, it is more so the norm now. And the way that works out, it's really great. If I have usually 2 people that want to fish 2 per Ponga, I'll be quite honest with you, there's usually 4 more.
Right.
If I can get 6 people to fish 2 per Ponga, I will lease another Ponga and I'll split the cost amongst those 6 people.
Oh,
and
which brings the price way down.
It
helps cushion it for everyone.
Yes, it helps cushion it for everyone. So like on a 5-day trip, it's an extra $200 for those each person to fish 2 per Ponga for those full days of
what
fishing.
A wonderful deal.
No-brainer.
Rosie, since you've been involved, you have brought so many cool steps along with Cedros Sportfishing that have just made it beautiful. Seriously.
And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't me. It was just the suggestions from you guys. I was like, oh, I'll make that happen. You know, like Jeff always, years ago, would always say, you know, I don't know, but I'll get you the answer and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's Rosie's,
just let me figure it out.
It's Rosie's easy button, man. Just hit the button.
And just the level of service that you get while you're down there from the crew too. Like it was always to the point where like I would like, oh man, I don't even want to go ask for anything because everybody like stops what they're doing. Like somebody might have like a lot of tasks at hand, and like the last thing I want to be like, hey, can I grab a cold water? It's like, dude, I'm gonna ignore this like major thing that I'm working on. Like, dude, of course, are you kidding me? Here, let's walk this way and get you whatever you need. Like, there's just everybody is so accommodating. They make you feel like family. It's just
and you know what? They do make you feel like family. They just love that you guys are there. They love their jobs, and they want to make sure that you guys get everything you need because they want you coming back because they love their jobs. It's a little island, and they want you there.
And you mentioned it. It's a little island. And if anybody is anywhere near like the apprehension of Mexico and, you know, listen, it is so beautiful to walk across the CBX, hop on a plane, you land on an island.
On your own flight.
On your own flight. That's nice.
Everybody knows everybody on that island. They're all family within themselves, and they're welcoming you as family to the island. It's just a beautiful thing. There's no issues. It's just a beautiful place to be to catch big fish.
Absolutely.
And before we run short on time, let's talk about how good those tortillas are too.
You're killing me, Rick.
I should have brought you some. They send me the tortillas all the time, and so I have a stash in the freezer. They freeze well. They thaw well. I've got my neighbors hooked on them.
That the typical size is somewhere around 10 inches, right? 10, 12 inches. Rosie sent a picture to Floor down on the island of these giant tortillas. The next trip that came back, they were 15, 16-inch tortillas.
Giant tortillas.
They were giant.
I love it.
Giant.
And it's so you could make your own carne asada burrito.
Yeah, there you go.
The size of your forearm.
I love it.
Loaded up with some lobster that you got from the island.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, this was a great text, and it was a recommendation. It says, hey, I got a recommendation for all guys going to Cedros. It's my favorite place. I go every year. Last year on my drive out, it was a little bit chilly, and I packed on a pair of very lightweight pants. 3 years in a row, I've been glad I did. I'm a regular on the Cal Sheets group. That's from Steve Miller and Monrovia.
Yeah. You know what? There's those pants that are kind of, they're lightweight, but you can take them off quick, or they're
boat pants.
Or
an AFCO honcho pants, or something, a real lightweight shell, and then a little spray or water, something just beads right up, rolls right off of them. But they also roll up into a ball and they weigh nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a
great idea.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Hey, we'll try and sneak in another caller, Corey.
Let's do it. How about Mo? Mo calling from Vista. Good morning, Mo.
What's up, Mo?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, I just want to thank Friends of Rollo Winter Reel a week. I just won a Akuma Komoda, SS 471.
Nice.
Hey, congrats, Mo. That's
Good for
awesome.
you. That's awesome.
Something that's going to go on for many weeks, and you're a lucky winner. There are going to be many lucky winners behind you, and what a cool deal.
Komodo be a perfect reel to load up with some 65-pound Power Pro and take it down to Cedros. Catch yourself a mess of calicos.
Yes.
Mo, appreciate the call very much, buddy. Congratulations.
Such great times. We're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew will make sure your fishing experience is one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day open party trips on the spacious and comfortable Liberty. Since we introduced the full-day trips at Fisherman's Landing, the 85-foot Liberty has become a favorite among full-day operations with bunks for your comfort, huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big modern galley and 2 interior heads with showers. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can easily be booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Saturday, November 2nd is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Seminars by saltwater expert, great deals on tackle, top tackle reps like AFTCO, Psycho Pro Fluorocarbon, and incredible deals on AFTCO clothing. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 2nd.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And your San Diego County Ford dealers is the place to start with a full lineup of vehicles and available powertrains. Get your ideal combination of power and capability with gas, hybrid, or all electric. But more important than the power you choose is what you choose to do with it. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And man, this is just from my heart, such a fun show and talking good times. And one lucky winner. We're going to flip the coin.
Rosie's going to do us the honor. That's the prize coin. Okay.
There it is.
We have a caller today.
It's Sean in Chula Vista.
And Sean,
dude, $300 to Costa Del Mar.
How cool is that? Congratulations. What a great show. Rosie, Jeff, thank you guys so much. Not only for coming and hanging out for 2 hours with us, but man, providing such an awesome fishing location, opportunity, trip, everything you do. Give us the rundown. If somebody wants to go, how do we book a trip? You always talk about how busy it is, but every time it always sounds like there's spots here and there. And you know, this is going forward for next year. There's still some time for this. Just give us the lowdown. What do we do?
Yeah. And you know what? We literally just had one spot open up on Steph Franklin's charter coming up here on the 18th, just one spot. Of October.
You know what? I
Great
love
time to go fall
the October
fishing, man.
weather is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Are you taking that spot, Cory?
Yeah.
You got me going, man.
So if you want to give, the best way, honestly, is to give me a call because, you know, one question will lead to another question. So the phone number for me is 619-772-7570. And again, we'll talk it over and see which trip is good for you, what trip length of trip is good for you, what do you want to catch, what your priorities are. So, and then you can always check out the schedule. Come Monday, every trip will be on the schedule for you to see
for next year.
For next season. You can go to Cedros Sportfishing.com.
Awesome. A great job. Again, Cory, you've said it a ton. I said it. Cannot possibly recommend it enough. It is an amazing fishing trip.
It's a safe, fun. It's just bounty that you bring home. The immigration going south is easy. Coming back, the easiest part of it is usually nobody in line for U.S. Customs.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Great job, you guys. Fantastic. Looking forward to it. And man, we can't wait for our trips next season.
Right
Appreciate
on.
it. Great job, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you out there. Another great show coming for you tomorrow. Captain Frank Lepresti from the Royal Polaris is going to be joining us. We're going to be having a great time talking fish and more. You stay tuned. Huge thanks to Chris. Big thanks to Adam for keeping us on the air. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 to 9 a.m. right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app, on 1090, on Sports Grid, live from Facebook and YouTube. We'll talk to you then.
Excellent job, guys. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Appreciate everything.